Afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is for you in the world, whether you are here with us live or whether you are watching the recording. Welcome to Traverse. This is a brand new free masterclass where we are going to renounce resolutions, because we all know by now that for 84% of us on the planet, they don't work. And we're going to embrace a beautiful intention for our year ahead. Oh, okay. I hope the sound came through for the video. We have had, that's been a little hit and miss in the past. For those of you who are here live, if you can let me know if the music came through, that would be amazing. I would love to know that. We did test it yesterday and it did work. So I would be curious to know whether it did for you this morning. No music. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Now, I don't want that chat box to be that big. I want to be able to read that. Right. No music. Thank you for letting me know. Worked yesterday when we tested it. More testing to be done. Trust the process. Let's dive in. As I said, welcome to Traverse. If you are here live, please ensure you are on mute. It just helps us eliminate any background noise so we're not hearing each other and it's not coming through the recording. Now, my aim is for us to spend 111 minutes together today. Why 111 minutes? Because 111 is a powerful manifestation number, and it also represents new starts and new beginnings. So I thought, what a beautiful amount of time for us to allocate, for me to allocate, for us to share together, 111 minutes. Now, it's very precise, isn't it? It doesn't mean I'm going to talk too fast and, oh my gosh, she's trying to smush a lot into 111 minutes and she's talking too fast and I can't make my notes or take my notes as quickly as she's talking. And it also doesn't mean we're going to sit here for 111 minutes if we're done, because we want to honor our time, right? So the aim is 111 minutes. If we go a little bit over, a little bit under, we always trust the process. The replay, if you want to watch this again, and some of you that have jumped in here live have already shared that you can't be here for the whole time. That is perfect. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for choosing you to be here for the amount of time that you have. That's absolutely beautiful. I love it. Congratulations to you for making that choice, taking that action. The replay will be available in the Sky High Coaching app under Traverse. I will also be sending you an email with the link to that, so you will be able to access it very easily. It's in we upload it in two ways, audio and video. So some people, they love sitting down watching the video as if they were here live, seeing me, taking their notes. And others, they prefer to listen. They want to listen while they're walking their dog. They want to listen while they're driving. They want to listen. I listen to a lot of things when I'm driving from my coaches, my mentors, or they're cooking dinner. So they prefer audio. That is going to be, I was going to say something else then and I stopped. That's going to be available for you too. Also in the app, there is a community. So if you click on the community tab or button, which is down the bottom of your screen when you're in the app, you'll see community. There is a Sky High Coaching community. I would love it if you jumped in there, introduced yourself, said hi, let me know that you're listening to Traverse or you're watching Traverse. Let me know your insights and let me know your questions, because I am here for you in that community. So I will answer any questions for you in that community. Don't delay, because this is not going to be available for a whole lot of time. We're nearly at the end of the year, right? And this is an end of the year program, end of the year, beginning of the year program. You also receive, because it's Christmas, and I love Christmas, which I inherited from my mother. Never done before. I have never done this before in 8 years. I have never gifted everybody in a masterclass a voucher for $111. So this is, yay, brand new in 2022. I love that that rhymes. Now, at the end of this masterclass, so keep listening, keep watching, stay engaged, because at the end, I'm going to show you a way, or many ways, that you can use that voucher. So stay tuned for that at the end. Now, those of you who have been in my world for a while, thank you very much. There are the most beautiful souls registered in this for this masterclass that we've been in each other's worlds for many, many, many years. Thank you, thank you, thank you for returning. And some of you are brand new. This might be the very first time you've ever attended one of my masterclasses. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, and thank you for joining us. If you've been in my world for a while, you will know that I very rarely use slides like this. I very rarely use PowerPoint, usually only in, oh, thank you, Annie, usually only in the more corporate programs that I run, we'll use PowerPoint. But I just stand here, I tell stories, I riff, I download, I channel messages through. But I thought when I started putting the outline of this masterclass together, because it's in 3 parts, I'm going to break the process down for you in 3 parts, and then there's parts within the parts, right? So there's steps within the parts. So I thought, okay, some people are very visual, some people prefer to see something on a screen. So I'm giving you this format, or this tool, if you like, as well. So if you prefer to just listen, you just like it when I riff, I'll still be riffing a little bit. There's just going to be words on the screen. So for those of you who find that easier when you're looking at a process or a procedure. So I hope that makes sense. Your mind is a distraction machine, and it is very, very, very good at what it does. If you are here right now, whether you're here live or here watching the recording or listening to the recording, I strongly encourage you to, if you're going to be here, you may as well be present. If you're going to be here, if you've allocated this time, you may as well be present. So one of the ways, or a couple of the ways, that we stay present when we're watching or listening to something is to take our own notes. So I encourage you to have your pen, your piece of paper, or your journal, or your notepad, or if you're on a laptop or a computer, open up a Word document or a notes document or a Google Word or whatever they're called. You can tell I'm not a software-y person. And start plugging in some notes. Your own insights are going to come up for you. Make a note around that, and any questions that you have. If you're here live, feel free to ask questions as we go along, make comments as we go along in the chat box. That will also keep you engaged. This is a conversation. This is a conversation. I'm not just here to talk at you. This is a conversation. So I encourage you and invite you to join the conversation through the chat box. Nothing in our life changes unless we implement. Unless we implement what we learn, nothing's going to change. We can watch 1,000 masterclasses. We can watch 1,000 YouTube videos on creating change. We can listen to 1,000 podcasts. We can read 1,000 books. We can even buy 1,000 programs, pay for them, and receive some really valuable information, tips, tools, resources, techniques. Unless we implement them, nothing will change. So think about that as I'm speaking with you today, as we're talking today. What are you going to implement? Now, something that's very important, if you're new to my world, you won't have heard this before because you're new to my world. If you're not, you will have heard this before. I'm not attached to being right. I'm not attached to being right. If I talk about something, or I talk about one of the steps that I take, this is just my process that I've developed over 2 decades now. And It works for me, but I'll continue to refine. I don't stay in the same place. I evolve, my life evolves, I grow, my life grows, I get bigger. Energetically, my life gets bigger, I change, my life changes. So I'm always refining. This is just where I am at today. And if one of the steps you think everything in your body says, that just doesn't feel right to me, leave it. Leave it. Or see it as an indication. Oh, that makes me feel really uncomfortable. Maybe I should turn and look at that and give that a bit of a go, because maybe there's a bit of fear coming up. And the things that I talk about that you love and your whole being thinks, I want to embrace that. I want to do that. That sounds amazing. I'm going to give that a go. Why have I never thought of that before? Take it, use it, run with it, share it, do whatever you like with it. So there is a lot for you to do in the next 111 minutes, probably less than that now, rather than just sit here and listen. Huge acknowledgement to you for being here. Huge acknowledgement to you for choosing this masterclass. And I guarantee that your future self thanks you. I've been picking up self-help books since I was in my late teens, probably mid-teens, but I didn't really immerse myself in personal and professional development until I was about 30, so which is over 2 decades ago. And I almost every day thank that 30-year-old Janelle. Oh my gosh, I am so in love with her. I am so grateful to her. I'm in awe of her. She was quite young, that she thought, okay, I really want to be the best I can be in this life, and how do I go about that? Your future self is going to thank you for being here. Future self tomorrow, doesn't even have to be 2 decades from now. Your future self tomorrow, your future self later today. Those of you who are here live have already said hi in the chat box. Thank you so much. If you are watching the replay, please jump into the community and say hi. Now, I invite you to set an intention right here, right now. I told you, you weren't going to be able to just sit here and listen. An intention right here, right now. What is your intention for this, the period of time that you are listening or watching this masterclass? What's your intention? Is it to stay engaged? Is it to watch the replay even though I have to jump off today to go and do something else? Is it to take notes? Is it to write down your insights? Is it to write down everything and then watch the replay again and then decide what you're going to implement, what you think will work for you? My intention right now is to share everything I do at this time of the year and into next year. That is my intention. I am here for you 100%. There's nothing going on around me right now. I'm here for you. There's not even anyone else in the house. Now, after I've said that, I'm going to make sure my phone is on silent because I didn't check that. Now I'm here for you. Traverse. Why is this called traverse? I love the meanings of words. Our words are our world. The things, the words, the sentences, the things you put out into the world verbally have impact. Impact on other people, impact on you, whether you follow through with what you say, whether your words are your world. And they also have an energetic impact. So I thought, I was trying to find the name for this masterclass, and I found traverse. It means to go or travel across or over, to move or pass along or through. How beautiful, because that is what we are doing over the next few weeks. We're traveling across the end of 2022. We're passing along and we're moving through and crossing over into 2023. So that's the base of this masterclass today. So I want to start with the biggest mistakes I made in the past, because let's just get the big mistakes out of the way, and then I've made them, you don't have to. But maybe some of these will resonate with you. I'm just going to move that chat box over a little. There we go. If you're thinking, yep, yes, I'm there. I've done this. I know this. It didn't work. Let me know. Or if this is you thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was doing this, and now I can see why it wasn't working. Let us know that too. So the first big mistake we make, or I made, I'm going to flick between I and we. I hold no fear for us. We will be able to follow each other along. I assumed I was starting from a clean slate, don't we? We assume, we go, it's a nice clean year. It's a nice clean year. It's the 1st of January. It feels so clean and divine. And this year, all my dreams are going to come true. And this year, my health is going to be this, and my wealth is going to be this, and my love, there's going to be so much love in my life, and my career, I'm going to get this fabulous job, and my business is just going to skyrocket, and I'm going to be a philanthropist and start a charity, and right? I'm going to sort everyone in my family out. Everyone in my family out, right? Because it's a clean slate. We're starting clean. We're starting again. Are we? We weren't born on that day. If you have a baby on that day, the 1st of January 2023, it's starting with a clean slate. We are not. I set New Year's resolutions. And research tells us that 84% of people on the planet have failed in their New Year's resolution by the end of January or about the first 2 weeks into February. So we set these New Year's resolutions, and often they're quite strict. Like, I'm never going to eat chocolate except on a Sunday, and then it will be 2 tiny dark chocolate squares, and that's all I'm going to allow myself every Sunday for the rest of the year. So 52 times this year, I'm going to be able to eat 2 tiny little blocks of chocolate. Or I'm going to find the love of my life. This year is the year I'm going to find the love of my life, and we're going to fall divinely in love, and it's going to be instantaneous. And that if I'm not married by the end of this year, well, then I failed. Right? There's a better way. There's a better way. I didn't understand I was a co-creator. So I work with high performers. I am a high performer. We are a particular type of person. And when we've had great success in some areas of our lives, and then we don't have great success in this area where we really desire and want the success, we start to think there's something wrong with us, or we start to think we can't do it, or we start to think we've failed, because other areas in our lives, it was quite easy to step into our dreams and desires. So we start to come down on ourselves. We've failed because who else is going to do this if I don't do it? But it's all up to me. It's all up to me. I have to do this. The only person who can do this is me. Well, yes, to a certain extent. You are the catalyst, but you are a co-creator. None of us are living on this planet alone. There are a plethora of other people with various skills, strengths, and gifts who can assist you in your creation, along with something that is much bigger than us, has been here for all of time, will be here long after we're gone, and that is whatever resonates, whatever name resonates with you. God, the universe, the quantum, the unseen forces around us. You will have had times in your life, and I guarantee it, we all have, where something's happened and you've thought, I could never have predicted that. That was amazing. That just kind of came out of nowhere. That job, that just came out of nowhere. That person, I wasn't even supposed to be at that event that day. This is me meeting my husband. I wasn't even supposed to be the place I was. where I met him. I was kind of there by accident. There's the thing, you know, that the person that walks in with the business opportunity, or the windfall, the financial windfall, or there's something you're thinking, if only I could find the right person to help me with my arm that's sore. I have a sore arm at the moment. And then you're just all of a sudden talking to someone at a party and they say, oh, I know this physio, she's amazing. And you go to the physio and she fixes your arm. Like, things that just seem to appear, just seem to drop in as if by magic. And I love magic. And I've created a lot of my life by tapping into magic. So the thing about the unseen forces is they're here whether you believe in them or not. They're here whether you use them or not. So you can turn your back on them, or you can choose to embrace them, learn how to bring them into your life, learn how to use them to absolute advantage, and allow them to co-create with you. And when you start creating with these unseen forces, you begin to realize very quickly that you are a tiny, 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 tiny little piece of the equation. You're actually the smallest part. The other thing I didn't realize, this is a big mistake, was that the date had changed, I had not. So even though the clock had ticked from 11:59 on the 31st of December over to midnight on the 1st of January, oh, it's a brand new year. Oh, it's a brand new clean slate. Oh, I'm going to set my resolutions. There's all these things I'm going to do this year. Oh, and I'm going to do them all by myself and no one's going to help me because I can do this. I actually wasn't any different. My beliefs hadn't changed. So my thoughts hadn't changed. And if thoughts evoke emotions, then the emotions that I felt about and around things hadn't changed. My actions, so how I was showing up in the world hadn't changed. The actions I was taking hadn't changed. Maybe they tweaked a little because of the New Year's resolution. But if we go right back to our beliefs that haven't changed, the New Year's resolution, my actions are going to eventually flicker back to what I believe, because that's how we're wired. No wonder my New Year's resolution is kicked to the curb by the end of January. My inner state hadn't changed. So it's all very well for the date to click over on a calendar that we created, predominantly white man created, so that the wealthy people on the planet could pay the others for a certain amount of time they worked. A calendar and time as we know it now, a diary, a calendar on a wall, was created so that we could exchange time for money. Way back when. The ebb and flow of the universe, it doesn't even align with the ebb and flow of the universe. We had to put an extra day in every 4 years, because it doesn't align with how the universe works. So the universe, now is now, now is always now. The sun goes up, sun goes down. The world turns, now is always now. So the date can change every day. Every day is a new beginning, really. Every moment is a new beginning. But if our inner state doesn't change, our actions aren't really going to change. So let's jump into part one, the process. So the first part of traversing from 2022 into 2023 these are the steps I take, is I honor the year I just had. So I sit down and I look over the past year. And how do I do this? I go through my calendar. I look at photos on my phone, and I have become more intentional. So the beauty about this masterclass is not only am I going to show you what I do right now and what I do in January, but you'll become more mindful for 2023. You'll take more photos, you'll write more things down, you'll make more notes. So when I started doing this, I became much more diligent in photos I took, and I freak everybody out around me because I'm taking photos all the time, and I often have to say, they're not going on social media, don't worry, these are for my memories. So I go through my photos, I go through my calendar, I go through my journal, I look at the program, because I'm a businesswoman. I create and deliver programs. So I look at the programs I ran, I think about my clients, think about what I did with my family. Yesterday, actually, I'll give you an example. I bought my husband a new bike for Christmas, and we actually picked it up yesterday, and it's very handsome. And which the bike shop owner, I said, oh, it's very handsome. And he said, thank you. Everybody says, oh, it's so pretty, it's so pretty. And he said, no, it's a man's bike, it's not pretty. I said, well, it's very handsome. I know how to speak man. As my husband was putting it onto our bike rack, I took a photo of him doing that. And then as he moved away, I took a photo of the bike. So I can remember, that's the day we bought your new bike. And we celebrate everything. So we look over the year and we look at what we want to celebrate. And I've got, again, because something else I've implemented this year is on the last day of every month, my husband and I have a celebratory dinner. Next week, we are going out to a new French restaurant. I'm very excited to try, but it's not always going out. It's at home sometimes. It doesn't matter where we are. What matters is that we celebrate the month we've just shared together. And we go through our photos and we go through our calendars, and when you get very intentional about how you're living your life, and when you grow more intentional around how you're recording your life, you will be amazed at how much there is to celebrate, how much magic there is in your life when we grow very intentional about this. So I'll go back, I'll look over the past year, and I will celebrate every success again, because I've already celebrated it at the end of every month. I celebrate a lot with my salonees. I have a group coaching program called The Salon. We absolutely do life together. We do life together. My gosh, like you wouldn't believe. And I will celebrate things with the salonees that I won't celebrate on social media. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, people might be getting a bit sick of me. Oh, look, this has happened now. It's amazing. So, but I go into the salon and I jump on one of our calls and I say, oh, this has happened, and everyone's excited and thrilled. And so we celebrate everywhere we can, because celebration is gratitude. Celebration is a party in the name of gratitude, as one of my mentors says. Now, as I'm looking over my year, I start to ask myself, because this is going to be important for next year, what and who contributed to these successes? So this was a success, this was a success, this was amazing, I loved this, I'm so grateful for this, I'm so grateful for this, I'm so grateful for this. I've had 2 emails this week from people I haven't seen for a while, and both have asked, how are you? And I've honestly been able to reply with, I'm in gratitude, I'm so happy, I'm good, I'm in gratitude. There is just so much in my life to be grateful for right now, and I mean it. And I've had challenges throughout the year too. So look at your successes. What contributed? As in, what did I do? What did I do that contributed to this being a success? And is there anyone who contributed as well? Is there someone else involved in this creation? So we note all that down, because if you loved it and it worked, we want to we want to make a note of that. And you're celebrating it, we want to make a note of that. And we also want to honor that person. So sometimes it's a person that I know I may not ever see again. Maybe it was a stranger. And I will energetically thank them and send them love and gratitude. If it's someone I know, I will call them or email them or text them or send them a note saying, in fact, I sent a gift. I wrapped something up and sent a gift to someone. It was so much fun on Thursday, who is not going to expect it in 1,000 years. Not in 1,000 years. And it was so much fun. And I know when it hits their doorstep and they see it, they're going to be thinking, what is she sending me something for, right? Because it's for something this person did in the past that I'm just so grateful for. And if it might be someone that I want to hire again, or I want to appoint again, or I want to stay in a circle with. It might be, you know, I'm in a goddess circle. I've got my salon-y. So, you know, I could shut that salon down anytime I like. It's my group. But I love it. I want to be part of it. I want to stay in it. So it works for me too. It works for them, works for me, works for all of us. So what and who contributed to this, the success, the creation of this successful moment or experience? What worked? Note it down. Now, as we're going through, you're going to see some things, because this is the way life is, that may hurt a little. So as you're going through your year, you might see maybe someone you love passed away. They were here at the beginning of the year. They're not here today. I have too. So let's just send them some love for a moment and send ourselves some compassion. Okay. So there's going to be some uncomfortable feelings arise. So there could be some sadness, some grief. There could be some bitterness or some anger. Maybe you see a photo of someone who since then has hurt you, or you've had a breakup, a romantic breakup, and you see photos of that person when you were happy earlier in the year, or maybe something didn't work out, or maybe there's maybe you were made redundant, or something's happened at work and you're looking back and you see the day, oh, my last day, oh, that was my last day at work, and oh, that hurts a bit, right? So we want to allow those uncomfortable feelings to come up, because we don't want to push them down. When we push them down, they fester. We anchor them. We anchor them in our body. Our emotions live in our body. So if you push them down, I'm just going to get on with it. I'm feeling a bit of shame, or I'm feeling a bit of anger, or I'm feeling a bit of a resentment, or I'm feeling a bit of bitterness, or, you know, or irritation or annoyance. I'll just push that down, because we're not supposed to feel those feelings. We're supposed to be high vibe and positive thinking all the time, right? I'm just going to push that down. They don't go away. The minute you place yourself in a similar situation, or there's a person who talks a similar way, or kind of looks like them, or does something like them, you know, and it will trigger up all that emotion again, because it'll bring up the memory. Oh, that's what that person did to me last time. All those uncomfortable feelings are going to come up. And if it is the same thing happening again, if you're repeating situations, repeating experiences, oh, there it is again. Not only are you making those uncomfortable feelings stronger, but you're not learning a lesson. There's something you're not learning here. So, and it'll keep repeating until we've learned the lesson. So allow those uncomfortable feelings to arise, write them down, get them out, get a pillow. We were talking about this in the salon the other night. Get a pillow, scream into it. You know, so the neighbors don't call the police if they hear you screaming, scream into something. Write them down in your journal, or any way that you can let these feelings out. If you have a trusted friend, talk to them about it. If you have a coach or a therapist or a counselor, talk to them about it. Just get them out of your body. Okay. We're still honoring 2022. So we're looking, I just mentioned it, we're looking for the learnings and the lessons. So these are the things, and this is a big mistake we make. We take this with us into the next year. I can't think of a word that isn't a swear word. Don't take this into 2023, because it'll just happen again. If you don't learn the lesson, we'll just experience it again in 2023. And I know this to be true because this used to be me. So we want to pull those moments out as well and look at what didn't work, what can I do differently next time? So sometimes I have to sit down and think, how did I contribute to this? Oh, I can see that I did actually contribute to this. This is what I did. Okay, I've got it. Thank you. Yep, it's landed. I've got the message. I'm here. I'm with you. Right. I can see it. Right. This is what I promise I'll do something differently next time. Because that situation is going to arise. You'll be tested. Did you learn the lesson? Are you going to do something different and achieve a different result? If the same situation comes up, has she learned the lesson? Has he learned the lesson? Oh, there he is behaving in exactly the same way he did last year. Oh, it's going to hurt again. He's not going to get the result he wants. Oh, now he's angry, bitter, resentful. Oh, okay, now that's going to anchor even more deeply in his body. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're smart. So once we've seen the learnings and the lessons, integrate them, which is what I've just talked about. I'm going to integrate this. Okay, I know, I can see it so clearly now. I've zoomed out. I can see my part. I can see their part. I can see I'm only in control of my part. I'm not in control of their part. Right, this is what I'll do differently next time. Now, a big part of this is forgiveness. A big part of not taking any of this poop into the next year, into 2023, is forgiveness. Now, sometimes that's forgiveness of self, which will release shame and blame. Here's the thing about, the good thing about this masterclass is you're going to get a little piece of my other programs, little piece of cosmic heart, little piece of this, little piece of that. So little piece of taking the leap. Is the thing about blame and shame is shame can't live in the light. The minute we bring shame up into the light, it disappears. Poof, it's like magic. Back into stardust. But we're so afraid to bring the shame up into the light that we push it down and it never leaves. So forgiveness of self, release the shame, release any self-blame. Forgiveness of others. Now, when we're feeling resentful, bitter, angry at other people, hurt, which underneath that, of course, is hurt and pain of others. Sometimes people say to me, why is it so hard to forgive? Like, why? One of the reasons it's so hard to forgive is there's a nice little endorphin that is a little bit of a payoff or a little bit of a benefit to your bitterness and resentment and anger, and that is self-righteousness. I'm right. And that feels good. Okay, I'm going to stay really angry at this person, and it's, of course, protection, so that person can't hurt you anymore because you're fearful of that. But it's also self-righteousness. I'm right. Everyone's telling me I'm right, and I know I'm right, and I'm just going to walk around in this self-righteousness. Well, I prefer practicing forgiveness, because if I can practice forgiveness and forgive that person or that situation or those people, I'm clean. I'm walking into 2023 cleaner than I was when I was in 2022. And we want to walk into 2023 as cleanly as we can. So part 2, preparing for 2023. So we've honored 2022 and we've cleaned up any mucky mud, dust, dirt, poop. We're feeling very clean. So now we're going to prepare for 2023. So rather than a resolution, what I love to do is I love to create my vision. And if you've been in my world for a while, this is not the first time you've heard this, still doing it, right? Is I create a big, beautiful vision. And this vision is not, we don't etch it in stone. We don't go and get that, right? It's not etched in stone. This isn't something that once I write out, I'm stuck to, I'm committed to, like a New Year's resolution. No. Vision is bigger than that anyway. It's bigger, it's ongoing. It's not just for 2023. At this point in time, this is the vision for my life, for the rest of my life. And this vision ebbs and flows and grows and expands because I create a vision, I step into it, my vision starts to turn into my reality. I've grown into the person who can create that vision, bring that vision into a reality. So now my vision has to grow because some of it has appeared. So now I have to grow more. As I expand, my vision expands. So the vision is big. The vision is all encompassing. The vision is, this is for the rest of my life, not just for 2023, even though we're preparing for 2023. Stay with me. Who do I care about? Spoiler alert, the first person that should be coming up is you. Me first. Me first. Me first. I have the most beautiful client, and she's registered for this masterclass, so I hope she's listening, who wrote a testimonial. We worked together a few years ago for the first time. We've worked together since, but the first time. And I actually repeat this testimonial to so many people because it's beautiful and it's correct. She wrote, if I'd known how putting myself first or taking care of myself, I haven't read it for a while, so I'm just gonna, it's not a direct quote. If I'd known how putting myself first was the positive impact that was going to have on my marriage, on my family, in my career, in my professional life, if I'd known the positive impact I would have in all those areas, if I put myself first and took care of myself first, I would have done it years ago. And I've totally butchered her quote. I didn't plan to say it, so I didn't reread it. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Who do I get? The first person is you. You first. We look after ourselves first. Look how much better we are for everybody else. When we're feeling good, when we're feeling light, when we're feeling happy, when we're feeling joyful, when we're feeling courageous, when we're feeling strong, when we're feeling empowered, then go on to the other people in your life. What do I care about? What do you care about? Is it your career? Is it your health? Is it how the world relates, how people in the world relate to each other? Is it the climate? Is it, having the most beautiful home? Is it having a home that's your sanctuary, where when you enter, you feel nurtured? Is it ensuring all your family is happy? Is it being the hub where people can come? Are you the place where friends and family, the doors are always open? It's really important for you. You care that people feel really welcomed into your home. Is it that do you have a vision for your children? This is my vision for my children. What do you care about passionately? What do you want your legacy to be? When you leave this earth, because none of us are getting out of here alive, when you leave this earth, what do you want to leave behind? What will it be? And it doesn't have to be Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins leave behind. It can be really small. It can be out of the limelight. It can be something only you and a couple of other people know. It can be something only you know. So don't put pressure on yourself. Tap in. Tap in. What will my legacy be? What do I want to leave behind? Now, the other thing I ask myself is, what do I want to repeat from last year? So I'm loving this right now. I'm loving being here. I'm loving sharing this with you. I know by next year, in 12 months from now, I will be different. You will be different. I will have refined this probably more or not. If it's still working for me, I'll have new people in my world. I might have you might want to jump back in and go through this with me again, right? It's at the end of 2023. Let's get ready for 2024. I might do this again. I probably will. I have programs that have been running for years, and I do them again and again and again. My salon has been running 6 years we've had very little breaks. I've just had someone re-enroll for the 4th time in a row, and someone else for the 3rd. I will keep doing things. I will repeat things. I just refine them. So it's not about staying stuck. It's about, how can I refine this? I want to do this again. I want to have this experience. Pre-COVID, I flew my best friend for her birthday. We got in a helicopter and we flew to a winery for lunch and flew back. I want to do that again. That was amazing. Next year, my husband and I are going to Europe. I've been to Europe. I lived in Europe. I want to do it again. So go back over my year. What do I want to repeat? I meditate every day. That's something I want to repeat. I want to keep doing that next year. I don't want to stop doing that. Journaling, sometimes when I'm journaling, an entity takes over. I'm not writing anymore and I'm receiving messages. I'm going to keep doing that. So these beautiful celebration evenings with my husband, I want to keep doing that. The family events that we have with his family and our kids and my family and friends, and I want to keep doing those things. They're beautiful experiences. So what do you want to experience again? What did you love in 2022? And then what are the new experiences you wish to create? What's going to be new for you? And let yourself dream. Let yourself dream. It might be the beautiful home or the beautiful new car or the beautiful partner or the 100% perfect health or the amazing community of uplifting and supportive people. It might be higher education. It might be personal, professional development. It might be starting that charity or turning that hobby into a business or stepping into that higher role, even though it scares you a little bit. What new experiences do you wish to create? And I ask myself that. And then I write them all down without a time frame. So now we're really not in New Year's resolution area. There is no time frame. This is the vision for my life. This is the vision for my life. There's no time frame. Because we want to believe in divine timing, and we don't want to put a time frame on things, because this is the way we set ourselves up for failure. I will have this new job by the end of Feb. End of Feb. Got that new job yet? No. Oh, so you failed then? Yep. Tonight, I'm going to meet the love of my life. Have you met him yet? No. Have you met him yet? No. Have you met her yet? No. Oh, you may as well give up then. Right? So no time frame. If it doesn't happen, if it hasn't happened by the 30th of June, halfway through the year, then clearly not for me. And this is one of the ways we give up on our dreams. We decide, I'm just doing a little time check, we decide that something isn't for us because it hasn't flowed in our time frame. No, the timing just isn't right yet. We keep going. Then after I've written them all down, written everything down I want to experience, I go micro, because when we start thinking about vision and experiences, we tend to start really big, which is great. Bigger the better. Go, go, go. Big is good. Then I go small. I want to watch a sunset. I want to watch a sunrise. I want to get my nails done in a brand new color I've never had before. I want to learn a new recipe. That's something I'm doing this month, actually. I want to learn a new recipe. I want to go for a walk in a new park. See? So really, really micro, some things that will be very easy for you as you're human, that you will be able to create yourself. I don't need a lot of help to throw some things in a pan and call it a new recipe. I don't need a lot of help to look at some parks in my area and then go for a walk in one. I don't really need a co-creation for that, if that makes sense. That's something that I can pretty much do by myself. So I'm the one who can set an alarm and get up and watch the sunrise. Universe has already done that part in that situation, right? So go micro, get really intentional, get really small, the beautiful little tiny things of life, the tiny things of life, smelling the rose, if you like, thanking someone for something, making someone a cup of tea, making someone a cup of coffee, making that phone call this year. So reaching out to someone you haven't for a while. Get really intentional and really micro. Then you're going to make 3 columns, or I keep telling you what to do. I'm trying not to do that. I make 3 columns, and there's predictable. One column is the actions or experiences that are predictable, which I've just talked to you about. Predictable means I can predict pretty much that I can do this. I can predict that pretty much I can find a new park and go for a walk in it. It's pretty predictable. If I just put my mind to it, I can do that. I can make that happen. Then anything that's a little bigger, I'm getting conscious of time, anything that's a little bigger, we go into, this could be possible. It could be possible that I find a job I love this year. It could be possible that I meet the love of my life this year. It could be possible that I find the right person that is just going to help me propel one area of my life into exactly where I would love it to be. It is possible that I will find that health professional that's finally going to fix my back after all this time. It is possible, someone's already talked about a house. It is possible that I will find the house of my dreams this year, right? So we have the possibilities. Then the potentials are the big. So the potentials are, I can't imagine how this would ever happen. And I know I couldn't do it by myself. But potentially it could happen. And these are the things that appear like magic. I then decide who I'm going to be in 2023, because it isn't about the what, it's actually about the who. Who are you going to be? Are you going to be brave, courageous? Are you going to be mindful and intuitive? Are you going to slow down to speed up? Are you going to be hopeful and optimistic? Are you going to be grateful? And then we set an intention or a word for the year. So my word this year was gratitude. So that was my context. That was my intention. I was grateful. I had 2 gratitude practices, one in the morning, one in the evening, every day. Everything I did, I was grateful. So even when there was a lesson, I was grateful for the lesson. Then, now this is for you, because I already know mine. Find and utilize your unique reminder tool, because you're not going to remember when life takes over, day to day, when we're pulled and pushed in so many different directions throughout our day by so many different people and situations. It's very easy to forget your context, your intention, your word, your vision, your list of experiences. So find your unique reminder tool. So for some people it's journaling, for some it's meditation, visualization, for some it's a vision board. They go and buy a poster, a piece of, cardboard. It's tangible, you can touch it. They get magazines, cut words and photos out, stick them on their board. For some people prefer that electronically, a PowerPoint, a PowerPoint display. Some like music. I know someone who created her own song. So created her own song, put music to it. She's not a musician, by the way. She's a fitness trainer. Created her own song with her own music and plays that every morning. So it's about, or mashing them up. So sometimes I journal and I write out my visions. Sometimes I meditate every day, but sometimes it's a visualization of what I would love next to drop into my world. I do have an online vision board, because I find hard copy vision boards become part of the furniture for me. I have commissioned someone right now to paint something for me that's going to go on my office wall that represents one word that I want to remember for the rest of my life that came to me in a dream. So a client is doing that for me now. So find your unique reminder tool. Then I look at strategies to bring the tangible and the intangible to life. So I've got the experiences I want to experience. I've got my vision, but now we want to put a strategy underneath. How am I going to bring this to life? Now we've got our tangibles, such as I'm going to go for a walk in the park. Pretty easy. I can set a date. I can Google parks around my area and go for the walk. So that's a very easy strategy. Now the intangible is more I'm going to meet the love of my life this year. Well, that's a co-creation. There's someone else involved in that. But there are things we can do to play our role, our part in those intangible goals. Even I'm going to find the job of my dreams, the job I love. That takes someone else. The organization, the industry, the job is created by somebody else. So they're kind of the part of the vision or the experience that we play a role and someone else plays a role. That's a co-creation. So there are strategies that go under both. So I do that. I set those strategies. Then I declare and commit. Declare and commit. Declare and commit. I declare my vision, what I'm going to lead up into for 2023, not create all of it in 2023, not that pressure. This is my vision for the rest of my life. Right now, it'll ebb and flow and change, but right now in this moment, this is the vision, this is the long-term vision for the rest of my life, and I'm declaring it. I'm declaring it in my journal, I'm declaring it to my husband, I'm declaring it to myself in the mirror. If you can't declare your dreams and desires and your intentions in a mirror to yourself, go back and look at them, because you're not committed. So that is part of the commitment. Declare and commit. Commit. Now, part 3 is the immersion into 2023. So now I'm in January, I'm in 2023. Now I know there's things that I can do to bring this vision to life. I've got my vision, I've got my experiences in my 3 columns. I've put some strategies underneath, things I can do. So now I've gone into a little action plan. And now I've got to look at my beliefs and my thoughts. So I'm going to disrupt, or I'm going to gain momentum from the mind cycle. What's a mind cycle? A mind cycle is how our brains work. We have beliefs that are buried inside our subconscious mind. Those beliefs create a thought. Your thoughts don't come from nowhere. They're triggered by an external event, but the thought comes up from your belief system. Our thought evokes an emotion, and emotion drives our action, and our action creates our results. Now, if your result is in the direction of the way you want to go, you're like, yes, this works. Well, you want to gain momentum from that. So you want to anchor that result. See, I can do it now. You're starting to believe. see, I can do it. I was committed. I did it. It worked. I believe. And now that's going to filter back up to your belief system. See, I believe I can do this. I believe this is for me. I believe I'm going the right way. I believe this is all working out for me. Or, so that's gaining momentum. Or we want to disrupt a belief that is not serving us anymore. The thing about beliefs, we're not here to talk about beliefs today, is they will have served you once, but they may not be anymore. So that belief rises up, it creates a thought, the thought evokes an emotion, the emotion drives your action, and then what if you don't get the result you want? So that's the moment you have a choice. Let that belief gain momentum. Okay, I can't do this. I was right. This isn't for me. I was right. This isn't going to work out for me. I was right. You can do that. Or you can think, okay, that I didn't get the result I wanted. Let's stop and look at it. I don't want to feed back to I can't do this, because I don't want to do that. So I'm going to turn and look at this critically. What went wrong? What will I do differently next time? Why didn't this work? What will I do differently next time? That's it. Disrupt that unhelpful cycle. I remember that I co-create powerfully. So once I get into 2023, I will be very mindful of how I'm using the unseen forces around me. And I will also be very mindful of who I'm inviting into my world and whose world I'm stepping into. I will tweak the strategies as required. This isn't my strategies aren't 10-step plans, because 10-step plans have problems with them. We want strategies that we can tweak along the way. When a rocket leaves for the moon, it's never on course. It's tweaked by engineers down here on Earth the whole way. Oh, it's off course again, fix it. Oh, it's off course again, fix it. Oh, it's off course again, fix it. So we tweak our strategies as required. And I remember that I'm here, my ethos, if you like, is expansion, creation, and self-leadership and leadership of others for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. Not itty bitty in 2023, and if I haven't done this by the middle of Feb, then I failed. Expanding my mind to new ways of thinking, new possibilities, new opportunities for the rest of my life, creating the life I want to experience for the rest of my life, leading myself even when it's hard and scary for the rest of my life, leading others for as long as Sky High Coaching stays open. Then I'll be leading myself for the rest of my life. So this is more powerful than a New Year's resolution for 2023. But as I move through and immerse myself in 2023, I'm living this. I'm living this. I remember that it's timing, not time frame. I flip the what if. Now, the what if is one of the two powerful words that trip us up all the time. I'm going to go and do this. Yeah, but what if it doesn't work? What if you can't? What if you fail? What if you're embarrassed? What if everybody knows? Flip the what if. Write these two words down and remember you have power over them. What if it does work? What if I am successful? Or what if it doesn't pan out and I learn a really powerful lesson and I learn something about myself? My clients and I have a saying, we fail big and we fail fast, because we get that failure behind us. We learn the lesson fast. We don't want it in front of us. We want it behind us. I deepen my emotional intelligence. I understand that the way I show up to life, to other people, to situations that frighten me, to situations that trigger me or activate me, situations that I can feel annoyance or irritation in, I got to work on that. Because I don't live on this planet alone. Everything is relationship, including with the universe, not only with people. So I've got to be as emotionally intelligent as I can be. And I remember that we pedal until we coast, and the beginning of the pedal is the hardest. So if you think about riding a bike, when you first get on the bike and you get on the pedals, it's a bit tough. But then once you put some pressure on, make some effort, it gets easier and easier and easier, and then you're riding, and then you can sometimes, if you get up enough speed, you can even take your feet off the pedals and coast. So remembering that, especially if I'm starting something new, that it might be a bit clunky and take a little bit more effort at the beginning. And finally, believe and trust. Believe in yourself, believe in life, believe in magic. Trust in life, trust in yourself, trust that if something goes awry, you can handle it. Trust in your courage. Believe in your courage. Trust that if you fall down and skin your knee, you'll pick yourself up, learn the lesson and move on. Trust in the unseen forces around you. We don't lean back enough and trust. We're these little worker bees that think we're these A-types, and we think we have to do everything and everything's up to us and we have to do everything ourselves. And if you want someone to do, what's that saying? If you want something done, do it yourself, right? What if you also trusted in the universe and leaned back a little? One of the hardest I find with myself and everyone I speak to, friends, family, clients, the trust is almost the hardest part. Okay, I'm just going to read. Thanks so much for your wisdom, guidance, and insight. I'm loving this. Yay! My word for you is thankful. Oh, beautiful message there. Thank you from someone who had to leave. Thank you so much. Right. That's it. Step one, look at your past, look at 2022, celebrate your successes, learn from your lessons, forgive. Make sure you're clean before you go into 2023. At the end of 2022 or beginning of 2023, create your vision. Think about the experiences you want to repeat that you loved this year or last year or the year before. Think about the new experiences you want to bring into your life. What's your legacy? Who do you care about? Put yourself first, because when we put ourselves first, we're better for everybody else. Write them, go micro, get smaller. What are the beautiful tiny things in life that we can be grateful for and enjoy? That we can really create ourselves without a lot of input or help from others, including the universe. Put them in your 3 columns. This is predictable. I can do this. This is predictable. This is possible. This excites me. Man, this is possible. And this, if the potentiality field is for the thing that if it happened, oh my gosh, you'd be amazed. That's come from nowhere. That's magic. Then set your create your unique reminder tool, set your context for your year, your word for your year, your intention for your year, put something up that reminds you of that every day. I had a piece of jewelry made that represented gratitude. So that's how seriously I take it. My word, I don't have it on today. I've got a new beginnings one on today, but I thought new beginnings one for today was appropriate. This is how seriously I take the context of the year or the word for the year. What's going to hold me that year? Remember that it's all about who you are. It's more the who than the what or the how. It's the who. Who are you? Who are you going to be in 2023? And just start. Begin. Put your foot on the pedal. It may be take a little bit of effort at first, but soon you'll be coasting. Believe and trust. believe and trust. Declare and commit. If you can't declare it to yourself, go back. There's something awry. Believe and trust. Now we're at 110. So that is the 3-step process, if you like. Thank you so much for being here.